Princess in the Night. So up there is the princess. Apparently, in the old stories, she's cast as the victim, waiting for her savior. Through the lens of the defensive identity, perhaps the Maya that is unfolded on Earth about what relationships are really for. But in this story, I'd like to take you through it a little differently. So in this first test, the masculine heads into the brambles to entangle himself. And these are the defensive identities that we carry. So he probably gets a little scratched up by all these polarizations, the tough guy, the nice guy, the controller. So he's being tested on who he truly is. So this can go on for years. He carries is also reflected by the feminine, both within himself and outside of himself. So he finally gets through. He feels relieved, only to discover a huge dragon protecting the love he deeply desires. So let's just pretend it's a huge dragon. So he's just spent years crawling through, cutting through the brambles. And now there's a big ass dragon telling him it's going to disintegrate him with fire. And depending on what defenses he still carries from his own life, from his lineage, and whether he's stopped identifying with them instead of protecting them, instead of projecting them onto the feminine within each of us. So this determines whether he crosses this next test. So he's dodging it. And for years, he can move slowly through the brambles, a little bit at a time, at his own pace. But this one is fast, instinct, which reveals his true colors, because now there's nowhere to hide his reactions. And does he really know who he is? As the dragon tries to polarize him, does he become small again and just walk away? Because it's pretty easy to feel evolved when there isn't a dragon standing in front of you, breathing fire, burning away every identity you thought was you. So this is a place of no return. Do or die. So this is where he is triggered into either the amygdala, the fight, flight, or freeze, or the neocortex, where he remembers his higher nature and sees how he can move beyond what seemed like an impossible obstacle. If he's truly done his work in the brambles, then the dragon is overcome, and the sunlight of the divine masculine lifts him and raises his consciousness so he can climb the princess's hair. See princess at the top, which is really our DNA, the spiral, climbing towards union with the inner feminine. Now, she has been part of this test the whole time. She, meaning the feminine, within and without, created these tests so that union comes from our higher nature, not our defensive identities. So these initiations repeat through whatever stage we're in, over and over, through relationships and even through lifetimes, until we ascend into the union within ourselves. They're reflected in every relationship. So if you stay together, you might spend years working through the brambles, or getting scorched by the dragon, or perhaps trying to figure out how to climb up the spiral of DNA. Well, I guess that guy didn't make it. So I put together a free ebook on The Princess in the Night. The link is below, because from each vantage point in this story, you'll see something different. And when we're caught in this drama over lifetimes, we often mistake surviving the first test, the brambles, as if it was the whole journey. We may identify with overcoming our defensive identities without realizing there was a second test and a third. So we stay in the story that we were the savior and the other was the victim. Whereas if we stay the course and continue through the test of the dragon, we may one day look back and see it was all worth it, even if the other fled.